Hello everyone, and welcome to Deep Dive. Deep Dive Season 2, so this is exciting. We're on our second season. And Deep Dive is a place where we go just a little bit deeper into the things that we've been sharing together during our messages on Sunday morning. So, as of this last week, we concluded our 3-week teaching series on the gift of rest. And as we conclude, I just want to say, Sabbath and rest isn't something we are ever finished with. It's something that we need to continually be intentional to incorporate into our lives. And so we certainly want what we've been talking about together on Sunday mornings to continue on in our lives, even though we're going to be moving into different teaching series. So to help that happen, what I'd like to do today is share 3 different resources with you, 3 different books on Sabbath rest that have been so meaningful for me. Each of them I've read multiple times and continue to refer back to them when I feel like I need a bit of a fresh investment when it comes to how to engage in Sabbath or engage in rest in a fresh and meaningful way. So the first book I want to talk to you about is called Get Your Life Back by John Eldredge. And the subtitle for this book is Everyday Practices for a World Gone Mad. And I feel like that is so fitting for us. What are everyday practices that we can engage that help keep us in a place of rest, help keep us in a place of being grounded and rooted in the presence and love of God? One thing I love about this book is that the chapters are really short. They are really easy to read. John Eldredge is really winsome in his writing. And one of the ways you could use this book is to read 1 chapter every day. They're short enough, they're bite-sized enough, but every day there's going to be something meaningful for you to receive, process, and potentially incorporate into your experience of Sabbath. I am reading this book now, at least for the 3rd time. It could be the 4th, but it has been so meaningful for me. So, Get Your Life Back by John Eldredge. Excellent book. The second book I want to talk to you about is a book called The Rest of God by Mark Buchanan. And this book is also absolutely wonderful. It's one of the first books I've ever read on Sabbath. And one of the things I appreciated most about this book is I felt like I really knew the character and heart of God so much better through it. And why would he invite me and all of us into a Sabbath rest? One of the unique things about this book is that every chapter at the end has what Mark Buchanan has called a Sabbath liturgy. And so one of the ways you could use this book is to read 1 chapter every week, because you could read the chapter, read the Sabbath liturgy, and then practice it that week. And you could read 1 chapter every week and see how that might bring a fresh investment into your Sabbath activity. Now, the third book I want to talk to you about is one of my very favorites. It's called The Ruthless Elimination of Hurry by John Mark Comer. And this book, I will say, when I first read it, I actually listened to it. I was on a long road trip with my husband, and we listened to it almost straight in one sitting for hours. Neither my husband Jeremy or I wanted to stop listening. We were so brought in to what Comer was talking to us about. One thing that I want to share when it comes to this book. So, Dallas Willard, years ago, was asked this question. He was asked, how can people experience more contentment, joy, and confidence in God? And his response was, you must ruthlessly eliminate hurry from your life. John Mark Comer is a student of Dallas Willard. And in this book, he really helps to unpack in very practical ways, how can we eliminate hurry so that we can experience all the activity that God invites us to experience from an inward place of rest. Again, the goal isn't that we don't engage in meaningful activity. The goal is that in all the activity we are engaging, are we coming from a place of inner rest? Are we coming from a place of inner contentment, joy, and confidence in God? So 3 books, Get Your Life Back by John Eldredge, The Rest of God by Mark Buchanan, and The Ruthless Elimination of Hurry by John Mark Comer. all of these 3 books have been deeply formative for me in my engagement of Sabbath rest, and I'm eager to share them with you. So if you read these books and like them or don't like them or however you feel about them, drop a comment below. I'd love to hear how you feel about them. Let's keep this conversation going. Or maybe you've already read one of these books and already have some comments about that you'd like to share with other people maybe who have yet to experience them. Put all of this in the comments below. We'd love to keep this deep dive conversation going. So thanks for joining us here for Deep Dive today. Thanks for digging a little bit more deeply into what Jesus might have for you. It's a joy to be able to do this.